The best game of the week by far was the Bills and Lions game. The Bills did walk away the victors 48-42, but they did have control for a good majority of the game. Up 10 points at sometimes, up another 14, up three scores for a good portion of the game as well. The Lions did make a late push, but they were really stifled there offensively. Defensively, they could not stop the Bills at all. Josh Allen was willing his way to victory left and right. Started off the game, I believe, with another two rushing scores before anybody else got into the end zone, and just kept the ball rolling from there. We've been saying it for a few weeks now. The Lions, with their injuries on the defensive side, are really going to continue having some issues there if they cannot get it together. And this is the game that they needed to show the rest of the league that it didn't matter how many guys that they had out, they were still going to be able to compete, and they really couldn't do that. They could not stop Josh Allen and the Bills at all whatsoever. And really, they had a lot of issues on the offensive side, being down all those scores. They were unable to get the running game to be effective. David Montgomery goes out with an
Mhm.
MCL tear. He's now done for the season.
Yeah, that's
So
huge.
that's a huge loss to the game planning that they have there, and the offensive line. As bad as we have talked, Tybo and I, about the Bills' defensive line since the Chiefs game, that Bills' defensive line has been extremely better than they had at any other point of the season, and they were in Jared Goff's face all day. The one bad thing that I will say about the Bills' defensive line is they have no idea how to actually tackle. They can get pressure all day long, but there should have been like another 9 sacks on Jared
Yeah.
Goff, and that guy was just wiggling his way out of there. That just should not have happened. So the Bills can figure that out. They probably got a much better chance at being able to put some pressure on opponents defensively, but they also cannot stop offenses even that are struggling, seeing as they gave up, another 42. Lions almost got away with one there at the very last couple seconds of the game. Off onside kick, almost got it back, just couldn't come away with it
Well,
at the
yeah, but the
bottom.
first one didn't help the fucking defense for the Lions either because he did it with 12 to go. Like, what are you doing? He gave Josh Allen a short field on one of those drives and you lose by six. It's like, well, maybe
Oh,
if
you're
you
you're
kick that
talking
ball
about the
deep.
other onside kick.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
talking about
they
the
they
other
did the
onside kick with 12 to go. Like, what are we
yeah.
doing, dude? You lost by six and you gave Josh Allen a short field and he's been scoring all day. What
Well,
are you
not only did they
thinking?
give them a short field, that was such a poor setup on the onside kick, because you do the onside kick,
No,
you
the
don't
kick
only
itself
give
was
them.
good. The kick itself was good. There just wasn't a guy there. There wasn't a guy there to catch the
That's what I'm
ball.
saying. The setup was bad because not only was there not a guy there to catch the ball, he returned it to the 3 yard line.
Well, I know, but like you don't set up an onside kick in hopes like in worrying about someone possibly returning it. You're trying to get the ball. Like no one sets up an onside kick and is like, if we don't get it and someone gets the ball and goes to run, like we got it covered. It's like no one's thinking that when you're running an onside kick. So I mean, I agree with your first point a little bit, but your second point, yeah, I don't know
If you're
about that.
setting it up well and you're putting the ball in a good position for somebody to be there to get the
He
ball,
did, and
somebody's going
that's
to
what
be there
happened. The
to
guy just didn't get there. It happens sometimes. It is what it is. Poor
set it up better.
execution.
The guy's there.
Yeah,
There were
no, just
some
poor execution.
reported dirty activities in the onside kick scrums in that game. I forget
Don't
which
doubt
team
it.
was claiming it from the other team, but like some fingers in places where they shouldn't have been, pinching and
It's not
whatnot.
surprising. That's pretty
That's a scrum.
commonplace
That's
in the
that.
NFL. Pretty
If
commonplace
there's
in all of football, even Pee Wee.
if we're reaching for a ball that's on the ground and there's a bunch of people on top of me and no one can see me and I got to do something to get a football, guess where my finger's going? Wherever it needs to.
Tommy's had stinky fingers his whole
There's a
life.
lot of
Think that
unmentionable
bothers him?
shit that happens at the bottom of a fucking pile when people are
You telling me
going
that
for a
doesn't
football.
happen in rugby, Tybo?
It happens way more, in my opinion. I feel like there was way less dirty stuff that happened to me in football than it did happened in rugby. I've been kicked in the
Exactly.
face at the bottom of a ruck,
I don't know.
man.
Dude,
I,
community college football was insane. Like people were literally fighting and scratching for the football. Because all you had to do was like knock one or two loose, and there was your highlight film, and you could go D1 from there. Like guys were flying at the football in community college. It was nuts.
I think if the onside kick rules were like the old rules and not having to
Yeah.
declare to be down, this would have been a
Mhm.
great smart move by Dan Campbell. But how much time was left at that time? Yeah, Josh Allen scoring on you all the time, but you're just giving up at that point, saying, "Yeah, he's going to score on our defense no matter what." So
Not
not
that
much you
it's
can really do in that
indicative
situation.
not that it's indicative on this game, because there have been a lot of complaints about the onside kick rules throughout this season due to the kicking
Mhm.
rules changes. I do agree, and I think a lot of people do agree that the kicking rules changes has really helped, because we're either getting better chances of teams being able to move the ball down the field, because if it's a touchback, they get the ball at the 30 or 35. But the or we're getting more chances at returns. But the onside kick and being able to declare, part of the reason why the onside kick was, it didn't really work, but how it's getting more unlikely to work now is because you have to declare it. Everybody, like, you can't do the surprise onside kick. So
Mhm.
how do you change that within the rules that seem to be working so well with returning kicks?
Wasn't there a team that did one up the middle this weekend? Wasn't didn't somebody do one like up the middle and like the kicker and somebody else fell on it late in the game? That might have been college now that I think about it, but I'm pretty sure
Probably.
I saw an onside kick this weekend that like they declared for the onside kick and everything, and then the kicker kind of like kicked it to himself and his buddy, like just 10 yards. Who was
I mean, that
that?
was the
Man.
second Lions onside kick.
That's what I
They
thought
went
it
up the
was.
middle.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
they
thought it
went
was.
right up the middle.
That okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's how you would be deceptive in today's game. It would be that second one. I thought I had saw that. Yeah, that's where it was. The second one. Yeah. The second one is how you are deceptive for sure. Especially after you've already done the first one and Buddy took it down to the 3 yard line. So it's like, all right, well, not running that play again today, boys. Sorry about that. We'll get a better one drawn up. And they damn near got that one. That last one, they probably had it at some point. Maybe.
Probably,
You
yeah.
never know.
They were pointing first, so I figured like, oh, they got it right away.
I
Whichever team
was I
starts
was
pointing
so
first,
excited.
I go for them.
I was so excited sitting in the Chili's, hoping that the Lions got it back, dude.
Sitting in a Mexican Applebee's.
I was sitting in there at a Chili's, dude, just waiting. I was like, "Oh, the Lions are pointing, baby, let's go!" And then I was severely disappointed when the outcome was
Yeah, that was a
not
bummer.
good.
Definitely.
The Bills have clinched their division. Not much. I mean, they're not in any chance of not really missing the playoffs. There's the Pittsburgh Steelers are the only ones closest to them for maybe knocking them down a peg. So Bills don't really have anything to worry about. But there is a tight race going on in the NFC North. Detroit has uh, clinched a playoff spot, but the Vikings are only one game away, who are playing right now. So they could tie it up as well. Green Bay is only a couple games behind. They should be making the playoffs. NFC North race is very close, and it is possible. I mean, we'll have to see. We're going to have three teams in the NFC fighting for the number one seed right now, between Philly and Detroit, and then obviously if Minnesota wins as well, that puts
Mhm.
three teams there fighting for the number one seed. So a lot of happenings are going to be going on there for the NFC and for that number one, number two, and
Down to the
number one
wire.
and number two
Yeah,
seed,
hop
and then we'll have to
happenings.
figure out one of those teams from the NFC North is going to end up getting a pretty low seed and having to go up against a divisional winner way. Not may not be very good for whoever that divisional winner is, probably from the South or the West.
Go Bucks.
And
Yeah, the Lions have the Bears, the Niners, and then they finish off the season against the Vikings. So
Ooh,
it's all going to come down to the final
that
Ooh,
week.
last week
I
could
would
be insane.
I really want to
Yeah.
see both of these teams go undefeated until week 18. Make that thing Sunday night football and let's
Hell
let it
yeah.
rip. That'd be fun.
Ferda. Championship.
That's the way it should be.
NFL,
Absolutely.
book it. Make us the bookers of
Do it
primetime
now. Do it
games, NFL.
now. Do it now. Give me the script. Do it now.
Make Tybo the Chiefs OC and make the rest of us script
Script
writers.
writers.